Your school's about to become obsolete because if people can't search you, you guys aren't known. If there's more tech-savvy schools out there optimizing for AI search, even if you have the best program, oblivion means you're just not going to get students. So on May 7, 2025, Apple's Senior Vice President of Services, Eddy Cue, said during Google's antitrust trial that Google's searches fell in Safari for the first time ever last month. Quote, that has never happened in 22 years, and he attributes the drop to rising AI use. As you can see here in this article, Q said that Apple has had extensive discussions with Perplexity AI, it's like where you search for answers like similar to ChatGPT, as it looks to add AI search options to its Safari browser, with expectations their use could overtake standard search engines like Google's, the report said. Apple has reportedly held talks with Anthropic and ChatGPT maker OpenAI as well. Such a shift could also hit Apple's revenue, and he said he's lost a lot of sleep thinking about it. Google pays an estimated $20 billion a year to make its search engine the default option in Safari, and Apple makes a cut of Google's ad revenue from searches through the browser. Now, in case you're not familiar with who we are, we've helped grow and consult hundreds of trade schools and vocational schools across North America for almost the past decade now, and most of these trade schools almost rely solely on SEO or people searching organically on Google, word of mouth, referrals, and rightfully so because it's free and it works well, right? By the way, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified when we drop real-time insight into how to grow trade schools every single week. Now, if you're running Google search PPC ads, also the same goes for Google PPC search ads. Have you noticed you get less enrollments from your Google ads now? And if you aren't sure, make sure to dig into the data and check it out. Most trade schools, unless you're one of those few that put in the hard work and investment to diversify and nail social media marketing, SEO is pretty much their only way of getting new students. And they aren't even actively optimizing and investing into their SEO. Now, with AI search overtaking Google search, meaning your future young AI savvy students don't go to Google for information anymore. They go to places like ChatGPT, and your school is not going to show up there anymore. Now, enough with the fear mongering. Let's talk about some ways you can actually show up in AI search results, like on ChatGPT or Perplexity. The first way is you submit to Bing, Google, and AI tools to be included in those AI summaries on top. 1. Submit your search map to Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools. Consider getting indexed by platforms like Perplexity.ai via link sources, and ChatGPT's web browsing requires open access and good ranking. Number 2, schema markup, structured data. To help AI and Google understand your content, your school contextually, this is key part. Add an FAQ schema, local business schema, and a review schema. Use tools like Merkle's schema generator to generate JSON LDs. We'll put some of the links on how you can do this stuff in the description, so check it out. And 3, answer specific questions your audience asks. AI system pulls answers from your content that directly answers natural language queries. So what does that mean? You got to create FAQ sections. That's one of the key parts of making sure your school pops up in AI search results. FAQs are key. So create FAQ sections targeting questions your future students always ask and answer them full sentences. You know, these questions like you get all the time, whether on calls or meetings or people reach out to you. How long does it take to complete your, trade school program? How much does it cost? What are funding options? What are job prospects, right? Now, another key part that's overlooked by a lot of schools is a new, fresh website is key. And let me talk about why. If you have one of those old websites that looks like it's from Y2K, right now is a good time to optimize them. You haven't been doing it because you have other priorities, things are working well, right? But now is the time. 1, good design is good design. But 2, you got to make sure your website is readable by these AI tools. So you got to rewrite the content. You got to make sure it looks good on mobile and make sure the page speed is optimized, pretty standard stuff. Now, last but not least, in addition to AI search, voice search is on the rise. Over 1 billion voice searches happened every single month in 2025. So what does that mean? It's like people asking on Siri on their phone, or Bixby on Androids, or Alexa if you have a smart speaker at home. It's the same concept. The things that we talked about, it's the same concept to make sure you show up in the voice search results. So if someone's at home being like, what's the best nail tech program, or what's the best cosmetology program in my area, you want to make sure your school pops up in those results, right? So the same things that we talked about to optimize AI search, it holds true for voice search as well. So moral of the story is that you need to take proactive steps right now to future-proof yourself on AI search and voice search. Make sure your school pops up because you've been milking SEO, word of mouth referrals. You haven't been proactively, making strides in social media for whatever reason. Now's the time, or else your school's about to become obsolete, because if people can't search you guys aren't known. If there's more tech savvy schools out there optimizing for AI search, even if you have the best program, oblivion means you're just not going to get students. So in addition to doing all those optimizations, the surest form of offense to make sure you have your stake in the ground, no matter what happens out there in technology, whether it's AI, voice search, social media advertising, social media marketing, isn't going away, because it's the same concept. If your content is actively out there and you have tons of content, you have tons of followers, AI search is going to have signals that you guys, the thought leaders, the leaders in that space for your specific industry, for your school, right? So whatever happens, the way you put your stake in the ground is through social media content and advertising. That's not going away for at least the next decade. So why not dominate it now and monetize one of the most powerful ways to grow your school? So think about it, right? Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. It's a pivotal time now. So make sure you get ahead of it. If you don't want to be like those other schools that go out, shut down, even if you have a good program, we don't want to see that happen. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're going to be dropping fire on how to grow your school, things happening in the trade, vocational, trade school industry, coaching program industry. We're at the forefront of it. So make sure you subscribe so you get notified when we drop our video every week. All right. I was glad having you. Take care. Bye.